Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we will be talking about agriculture in India. India is predominantly an agricultural land. So basically, its economy is largely dependent upon its agricultural produce, together with forests and fisheries. Two-thirds of the population of India is engaged in agricultural practices. Besides providing with food, agriculture is also a source of raw materials for its industries. India is blessed with endless growing season. That means that crops can be grown throughout the year. That is why agriculture is so important in India. The main reason for India being an agricultural country is that it is a subtropical climatic country and it lacks frost in most parts of the country. So, besides having a suitable climatic condition, it is also endowed with a lot of water resources. India is a very large country with a large area under cultivation. So, because of its huge size and the varied climatic conditions and the soil conditions, it enables us to grow a variety of crops. Therefore, India is second largest producer of wheat and rice, second largest producer of dry fruits, textile raw materials, pulses, farmed fish, eggs, coconuts, sugarcane, and other kinds of vegetables. Subsistence farming in India. So the question arises, what is subsistence farming? So, subsistence farming is a type of farming in which crops are cultivated to fulfill the needs of the farmers, and therefore it is done on a small scale where there is very little surplus left for sale in the market. Subsistence agriculture is carried out in most parts of India where the farmers they work very hard along with their family on the fields to grow enough food for themselves to survive. Important features of subsistence agriculture is that the whole family works on the farm and most of the work is done manually. The farms are very small. There are traditional methods of farming which are followed. The yield is not very high to be sold in the market, and most of the yield is consumed by the family members. This type of agriculture is also called as intensive farming because the land is used to produce maximum amount of crops, which is from a small piece of land. So, intensively the farmers try to cultivate crops and utilize each and every part of the farm. Because India has got a very long growing season, that is why more than two crops can be harvested in a year. The farmers also raise some livestock chiefly to help them with their work. They also use them for transportation. Animal manure is also used to fertilize the fields. The next type of farming is plantation farming. Now, plantation farming is a kind of commercial farming where the produce is mainly for the market. This type of farming, a single crop of tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, oil seeds, palms, banana, coconut, cotton is grown in large quantities. So, plantation farming is carried on in some parts of India, like the hills of South India and northeastern India, where tea, coffee, and rubber is cultivated. Plantation was introduced in India by the British in the 19th century. This involves growing and processing of a single cash crop purely meant for sale. The plantation industry was introduced in India because of its added advantages and opportunities. Since plantation agriculture provided huge job opportunities and also served the rising demands for cash crops like tea, coffee, and indigo crops. The characteristics of plantation agriculture are that these plantation farms are huge in size. They are also called as estates. Then, one type of crop is only grown here with a lot of specialization. Very good quality of crop is used because these are cash crops which are used selling in the market. Then, this type of plantation also involves huge capital investment. That means large amount of money is required. So, because of plantation, good quality of crops are required, huge amounts of technology is required, a lot of machinery is required, which involves huge amounts of capital investment. Then modern and scientific techniques are used because a large amount of crops have to be grown in good quality as well as quantity. So modern technology is used, HYB seeds are used, and the last characteristic is that the crops are mainly grown for trade. So plantation farming is a kind of commercial farming where the crops are mainly grown for sale in the market, whether national or international. The third type of agriculture is shifting agriculture, which is not practiced in many parts of India, but specifically in some parts like the northeastern hills of India, that is in Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Nagaland. So basically, those areas which receive huge amounts of rainfall and are thickly forested are the ones where shifting cultivation is practiced. It is even practiced in some parts of Chhattisgarh as well as Jharkhand. The characteristics of shifting agriculture is that a clearing is made in the forest by cutting and burning the trees. Seeds are then planted on the ground. This type of cultivation does not involve plowing the soil or any other agricultural practices. After 2 or 3 years, the clearing is abandoned as the yield decreases owing to weeds, soil erosion, and loss of soil fertility. Then a fresh clearing is made and the community migrates to that area. This is completely a wasteful method of cultivation. Crops like maize, corn, buckwheat, yam, potatoes, tapioca are mainly grown by shifting cultivation.